Welcome back for another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the FPL template being the highest owned players in the game currently, or the most popular picks. It's actually a stacked team, but we'll have a look at some areas where you can break away from the template later in the video. As we head into the pre-season, I highly recommend becoming a Fantasy Football Scout member. I've been a member for the last 6 seasons, and you can join for only a month just to try it out. There's some essential tools there, like the player comparison, where you can pick any 2 or 3 players and break down their data. Or there's the data tables, which lays it all out in sortable columns and you can customize it. There's so many other useful tools as well. Click the link in the description to try it out. It supports the channel as well. Thanks to everyone that has become a member already. So starting off with the template keeper, and perhaps not a name many of you expected it to be, Ramsdale. Last season's 5th top scoring goalkeeper, and as such priced at a reasonable 5 mil. It's all about Arsenal's opening fixtures here, which is why he and the defenders are in many drafts. Arsenal did suffer when Saliba was out injured last season, but he's back now, and on top of that Arsenal have only bolstered their defence with Timber joining and Rice in midfield. Don't be fooled by a lack of clean sheets at the end of last season. Ramsdale's still a great pick. That said, Gabriel is a player we've talked lots about as well. He costs the same and he has lots of goal threat, and he was actually last season's XG top performer among all defenders. Gabriel also half of Ramsdale's ownership. So the defenders, midfielders and forwards are sorted in order, highest owned to lowest, left to right. The back four is Estepinian, Shaw, Trent and Trippier. Estepinian made his way into the bargain players video as well actually. He outscored Shaw last season, he's 0.5 mil less, 1 goal and 7 assists. He created 51 chances last season, 29 shots, and his 77 touches in the box was 3rd highest among all defenders. Good underlying stats and a great price, very fair inclusion in the template, hard to argue with this one. Interestingly, Shaw's 124 points last season actually is most ever, and not an impressive tally. Nonetheless, he is a reasonable pick given the fixtures. Wolves home in Game Week 1, Forest home in Game Week 3. The type of fixtures you would hope for a clean sheet minimum and hope for more. Ten Hag had an observable impact on Man United defensively, and you expect that should only improve. De Gea has officially left Man United as well now, the end of an era, as he was the last of Fergie's players. Looks like Onana will be lined up to replace him, who from what I'm told will be an excellent replacement. Despite Trent's price hike to his highest ever and off the back of his lowest scoring season ever, he makes the template. 22-23 was a season of 2 halves for him. It's no secret that he did struggle for a large stretch of the season, before Klopp actually tweaked things, giving Trent the inverted fullback role, and we did see him thrive again. Between Game Week 30 and Game Week 38, he registered 7 assists and a goal, and Liverpool didn't lose a game over that run. Part of his appeal is that he takes free kicks and corners as well. That said, new signing Szoboszlai has a very good delivery, so there is some speculation that Trent could share duties or even lose them. Something we'll certainly monitor over the pre-season. The first pre-season video will drop around next weekend, so make sure you subscribe for that. All the pre-season results, the form players and any notes covered team by team. So Trippier, a more questionable inclusion in the template team, around 31% ownership. Make no mistake, he had a brilliant 22-23 season, 190 points, and the next highest was White and Trent with 156. Man City away, Liverpool home, and Game Weeks 2 and 3 are about as tough as fixtures come though. So you'd say that Newcastle's clean sheet hopes are very low for those fixtures, back-to-back weeks. Therefore, as a minimum, you'd want an attacking return, which is fairly unlikely. Newcastle's fixtures turn from Game Week 4, which could be the time to get Trippier instead. The midfield is Saka, Mitoma, Rashford and Mbeumo. So interestingly, last season Ødegaard actually finished with more points than Saka, but it's Saka who's the template pick. Ødegaard the template breaker here at 30% less ownership than Saka, or even better get both. Given the generous opening fixtures, double Arsenal attack does look a sensible way to go from Game Week 1. So Mitoma's priced the same as Mbeumo, and if you happen to pick between the two it's a real headache. For me, Mitoma just about edges it. After De Zerbi took charge of Brighton, they were actually top in the league for non-penalty XG. Pair that with good opening fixtures, a Brighton attacker is needed. March and Enciso are the other 2 options from Brighton. March 6.5 mil, same as Mitoma, and then Enciso's 5.5 mil. With McAllister gone, Enciso at 11% ownership could be a template breaker if he does assume the number 10 role. He really impressed in limited games last season, 4 goals and 3 assists in just under 800 minutes. The question is Rashford or Bruno. This one feels like a decision where you can't really go wrong, they should both do well. There's a chance we see Rashford out of position playing up top, and last season Rashford racked up 15.5 non-penalty XG, Bruno racked up exactly half that, while Bruno had 10.7 expected assists and Rashford just 2.8. So Rashford clearly the goal threat and Bruno a combination of both, but he is on penalties. Man United lacked someone who could make driving runs deep out of midfield last season, and Mount could be exactly the man for that. If that's how we see Ten Hag line up, then Bruno could have a licence to roam further forward. As it stands, I've got Bruno of 0.5 million in the bank myself. Very excited to see how Man United look in pre-season with Mount in the team. Brentford will be without Tony until around game week 19, so how will they fare without him? Mbeumo's played 10 times without Tony over the last 2 seasons. Over that run he has 6 goals and 3 assists. An impressive record of 9 returns and 10, and he has been reclassified as a midfielder, so you get an extra point per goal and a clean sheet point if Brentford keep one. The reclassification was because he became a winger last season, but in Tony's absence there is still potential for him to play as a forward. Visser for 6 mil also one to keep an eye out for. He could thrive if he becomes their main striker. Onto the front two, and we'll skip over Haaland and move on to Jesus. There's a huge lack of forward options this season, so Jesus has emerged as a popular pick. 11 goals, 7 assists last season. In both the last 2 seasons, Jesus has massively underperformed his XG to the point of ranking among the worst in the league among forwards. For example, last season he racked up 14.24 XG and scored 11 times. A good striker is expected to overperform XG if anything. So there's definitely room to deviate from the template here and double up in attack with 2 of Odegaard, Saka and Martinelli. Though referring back to the first point here, there is a lack of forwards. If Nkunku or Watkins have a good pre-season, then that's 2 great options for about the same price. The bench is Areola, Botman, Archer and Baptiste. We talked a lot about these guys in the bargain players video, so if you haven't seen that, it'll be on screen at the end. The only thing to add is that 4.5 mil forward Sims from Everton has just gone on loan to Coventry for the season. He hasn't been removed from FPL yet, so if you want a price locked 4.5 mil forward, then pick him up now before he's removed, and you can always get rid of him before game week 1 if you don't want him. Last season, Greenwood from Leeds was in about 40% of game week 1 teams, and his price only went down. I think he ended up about 4 mil, so the appeal of a price locked 4.5 mil forward is that you're safe from losing team value. Thanks for watching this video, hit subscribe before you go if it was useful, and see you soon for the next one.